Hello everyone, welcome to Feel Good Podcast. This is Trudy, your very own master hypnotherapist, physical therapist, and life coach. In today's episode, we are going to talk about 3 tips that you can use starting today to improve your relationship and make it fulfilling for you and your partner. So let's get started.
This is the Feel Good Podcast on the iCoach Hypnosis Network, where Trudy provides tips and stories to help you improve your well-being and reach your objectives. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave us some comments.
I had entertained the idea of my dream husband so many years ago. That dream was so innocent and full of colors. I clearly remember in my dream, I was walking down the trail with my husband, holding on to his hand, looking into his eyes, and we both were so happy in love, completely free from worldly difficulties and struggles. Well, many of us have dreamed something very similar to that at one point in our lifetime. Does that mean dreaming was wrong? I do not think so. That dream allowed me to look for certain qualities in my husband. I exactly know what kind of man I wanted to marry. Does that mean he was Prince Charming? Perhaps not. Does that mean that we didn't have to go through daily challenges of our lives? Does that mean we didn't have to work with each other's habits, mentality, idiosyncrasy? That is not true at all. We had to. When we go through certain challenges in our lives, the first thing that we do, we compare that with our dream. And when it doesn't coincide with our dream, the first question we ask ourselves, what is wrong here? It's not aligning with my dream. And what do? The first thing that we do is look around in other people's relationship. For example, I might look at my husband's friend Peter, and I may think, look, he is so good and kind to his wife. This Jenny, she makes incredible food in 30 minutes, 7 days a night. Oh my God, that's amazing, right? Or Chrissy, she has 2 tiny kids and she can manage to keep her house completely clean. While we're looking at somebody's lives from far away. So it always looks wonderful. And yes, because we want to see good in them, isn't that true? Not only that, we create this Hollywood kind of fantasy. We create our own trap and we fall right into it. It seems rather harsh, but I urge you to look at your past. Look at what kind of words that you have uttered towards your spouse, towards your husband, your wife, boyfriend, or girlfriend. Find out, were you always fair with him or her? And if not, there is some work that you can do for yourself. I have an opportunity to work with many seniors during my physical therapy career for the last couple decades. Many of them have been married for 50, 60, 65 years. So when I saw the trend that people have been married for that long, an idea came to my head. So I started asking every couple, what is the secret of their marriage? And many of them have said so many different things. But one thing that caught my eye, one couple had told me, oh, you really have to respect each other in your marriage. Well, that's so simple. So I'm like, oh yeah, that's great. And I came home and contemplated the idea of being respectful towards my spouse. And then I looked at myself and I figured it out. Was I always respectful towards him? And I thought, I don't think I was. I told him to do dishes 5 times and he completely disregarded that. So I was so upset and I told him things that I shouldn't have told him. I wasn't being respectful towards him. So I had some work that I had to do for my own self. So I realized what I was feeling was right. but the way I was bringing it to him was completely wrong. My verbiage was wrong and my tone of voice was completely off. So it was a challenge for myself. So I said things completely differently, and voila, he agreed to do dishes. That is fantastic, right? So I found out that he didn't have difficulty doing dishes. He didn't have any problems doing dishes. He had a problem with my tone of voice and how I was telling him. So the takeaway point here is, guys, if you find that you're getting negative response from your loved ones very consistently, you need to find out what is wrong with the picture. You need to find out how you can change and what you can change, and add respect to the mix and see what happens, what kind of magic you can create in your life. Tip number 2, you need to make your partner be seen and heard. A psychologist and influencer, Dr. Shefali, talks about this quite often. It's very easy. When you are in the beginning of the relationship, you're so happy with that person because you're getting to know that person. Then what happens? You are so involved with that person. You laugh at his stupid jokes. You're so odd when he opens the car door just for you. And that's fantastic because you're making him feel seen and heard, and your partner likes that part. However, when you are in a relationship for such a long time, like many of my patients, 50, 60, 65 years, everything subsides. And after a while, you know exactly what to do, but at the same time, you're doing something completely opposite. Instead of your partner being seen and heard, you're actually not doing that. Even though you can complete each other's sentence, you're doing things to trigger that person. And that is actually not fair, right? I want to share another story of one of my other patients. They had been married for 60 years. And something was happening to her, and I had to give instructions for her to drink a cup of water 4 times a day to improve hydration. So I told her husband that please remind her to drink a cup of water. And anytime when he tells her, oh honey, it's time to drink a glass of water, she'll say, nope, I'm not thirsty, I will not drink, and I do not care, I don't want to drink, in exact tone and exact verbiage. And when I will tell her, why don't you drink a cup of water? She will drink the entire cup of water and she will thank me at the end. The husband looked at this and he was baffled. He thought, whoa, what happened? This person who is nobody has so much power over my wife, yet I have zero power. And she told me later on that she knew what she was doing. She wanted to make him feel that way. She wanted to make him feel helpless. So guys, when we have this kind of behavior, we're not making our partner feel seen and heard. And when you change the scenario, change your verbiage, and make the partner feel seen and heard, that person feels important. He feels connected to you, and therefore you can have a fulfilling relationship. Tip number 3, keep it alive and funny. For example, if you want your partner to do some extra help in your home, I'm gonna give you an example. If you say, hey Peter, I need you to do this. You've been sitting around all day watching football. It's time to get up. Look what my dad does for my mom, and you are not really doing anything. That's really not fair. You need to put something in this relationship or else. If you say something like that, you know you are right all along, but how you are presenting yourself, it's completely wrong. First of all, you made him feel small. You're ordering him, and it's not going to work out. Nobody wants to feel that way. Instead of that, brainstorm some ideas and see how you can say, hey honey, do you think that you can help your wife for extra 15 minutes? Is there any possibility in this sentence? You're asking for some help by requesting. The environment is light and funny. And I'm not saying that this will work for you. Guys, you know your spouse more than anybody else. You know what ticks him, so you exactly know what makes him happy and makes him do things as well. So use that to your full benefit and use those verbiage, words, body language, and tone of voice that works for your spouse. That way, it's so much easier for you to communicate with your partner and have a fulfilling relationship. And of course, this doesn't work for a relationship that's abusive and controlling. So bear that in mind. Make sure that these tips and tricks are for normal, everyday relationship. It is not for controlling and abusive relationship. And it's beyond the scope of this podcast to discuss about that. So please keep that in mind. Just because you're being nice to other person, that doesn't mean that you have to put up with that person in an abusive relationship. And there is a reason why we are in a relationship, right? We want to be happy. We want to be seen. We want to be heard. And we want to be respected. So why don't we start implementing all of those things in our relationship towards our partner, and sooner or later it will come back to you and you can enjoy the fulfillment in your relationship starting today. Let's do a recap. We talked about 3 things to have a fulfilling relationship. Be respectful, number 1. Number 2, make your partner be seen and heard. And number 3, keep it alive and funny. By using these simple tips and tricks, you can start making your relationship fulfilling, happy, and fruitful. So till next time, my friends, have a wonderful, fulfilling relationship. See you next time. Bye-bye.
It's back. Yes, your kid will be back to school, and most likely will be attending online. Are you concerned about your kid's ability to succeed and handle online schooling and homework? You want your kids to perform well and achieve higher grade, higher confidence. You want them to understand the content presented online. Most of all, you don't want them to fall behind. My proven workshop for kids will help them boost their confidence, empower them to succeed online, and prepare them to succeed with online schooling. Don't be frustrated. Help is on the way. Let Trudy empower your kids' creativity and improve their success with a 4-session workshop, an interactive online session with other kids, and coaching from Trudy. Space is limited. Don't delay. Click the link below to get started or find out more.